Tuesday with licensed professional counselor Yunetta Spring.
All right, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. It's Talking Out Tuesday. Man, listen, y'all help me welcome licensed professional counselor Yunetta Spring. Yunetta, good morning.
Hey, good morning, y'all.
Good morning. We're so excited to have you this month. You've been talking about the importance of showing up as your true, authentic self. So what do you have for us this morning?
Yeah, so we are wrapping up June Bloom. And what I have for y'all, just for everybody to just kind of take a moment and look back and see, like, how have you bloomed this month? Like, really ask yourself that question. How have I bloomed this month? And I want to follow up with this before we wrap up, because I think sometimes you could be so driven and goal-oriented that you don't stop and recognize how far you've come, right, and how much you've actually bloomed. So remember, Talking Out Tuesday is not a substitute for therapy, but hopefully it could be a springboard to get you there if you need to be there, okay? So listen, some folks can't be satisfied with their bloom. That's what I'm realizing, right? And know that the inability to be satisfied, like with your progression, it can be a symptom of what we call high-functioning anxiety, right? And high-functioning anxiety is very similar to like typical anxiety disorders, but sometimes it goes undetected because it's hidden behind success. All right? So there are several people with high-functioning anxiety, but they're also successful. So the anxiety is not recognized because they produce, right? So the focus becomes on what's produced, but not so much what it took them to produce that thing, right? So their obsession or their perfectionism causes them to be successful. And what's sad is, even though they're potentially very successful, under the surface, they're pretty worked up, they're worried, and they have a consistent and persistent fear of like failing, you know? So there are a lot of people out here that, you know, kind of confuse drive with obsession. So when I think about the difference between drive and obsession, I think it's like if you're driven, you could pause, right? If you could drive, you could stop, right? You got brakes. Right. But a person that's driven by obsession, they're unable to pause, they're unable to take breaks, and they're unable to rest, right? So I kind of want to bring that up because sometimes that can influence and that can impact your ability to like recognize that you are blooming, that you have made it a long way, that you are successful. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it get crazy sometimes. You know, you looking around, you looking next door, and people are making progress, and, you know, you're naturally competitive and stuff, and sometimes, you know, you're successful, but you think that you failed, and you just keep pushing. You don't give yourself a break. You get frustrated, you get depressed, you get anxiety. You know, from time to time, you know, I deal with it, you know, deal with that, but, and I'm sure a lot of people deal with that, absolutely. But I'm able to manage it. Yeah, that's a real thing.
You are. Yep, you're not the only one. So, you know, I'm not going to dig up a problem without providing, like, some possible solutions. So I'm going to share with you 3 things you can do, like, if you have a hard time recognizing that you're blooming, okay? The first one is to journal. Journaling can be so helpful. I encourage all of my clients to do it. It doesn't have to be a big deal. Like, just get a notebook, get your phone, just kind of write out your thoughts. Set a timer for 5 to 8 minutes and just write freely, right? You don't have to wait till something's wrong or going on to pick up a pen or, like, use the notes on your phone to just journal your thoughts. That way you can see how far you've come. The next one is to connect, okay? Connect with supportive people who knew you before you were you. Okay, so when I say connect with people like that you've known for years, I don't mean go digging up trash from the past, okay? And I'm not calling people trash, but if the relationship was toxic, it's okay to leave it where it is, right? You don't have to force, connections, but connect with people who can kind of keep you grounded, who knew you before you had your success, your title, your position, you know, and they can help us identify how far we've come. And then the last one is to pause. Sometimes we can't see how far we've come because we're moving, right? You ever try to look out the window and see something while a car is moving? You can't take in everything. So sometimes we have to pause and really see how far we come by slowing down and sometimes stopping. So I have that for you. Journal, connect, and pause. And if you have issues with stillness or challenges with acknowledging your bloom, of course, it can be connected to something deeper. So just know anxiety, high-functioning anxiety is very treatable. You can, talk about this more with the therapist if you need to.
All that was good. Listen, man, thank you, Counselor Spring. Let everybody know how they can reach you.
Yep, so you can find me on social media at Springforth Counseling. Follow my YouTube, Yunetta Spring. Or if you want more resources, you can text the word SPRING to 55444.
Text the word SPRING to 55444. Or you can go to springforthcounseling.org. Hey, Counselor Spring, thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you. Y'all take care.
All right, take care. More Rickey Smiley Morning Show coming up.